Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Collins, and I am a single mom. I never imagined standing on a stage like this, sharing my voice with the world. For so long, my dreams were something I had to put on hold. Not because I didn't love music, not because I didn't believe in myself, but because life doesn't always give you the luxury of choosing your dreams over your responsibilities. I grew up in a small town where dreams felt like fairy tales, beautiful but impossible. People in my town worked hard, paid their bills, and lived simple lives. Music was my escape. As a little girl, I would stand in front of the mirror with a hairbrush in my hand, pretending it was a microphone, imagining I was performing in front of a huge crowd. I wanted to sing, to feel the music deep in my soul, to share my voice with the world. But life had other plans for me. I was raised by a mother who worked long hours just to make ends meet. She never complained, never showed how tired she was, but I saw it in her eyes. She had dreams once too, but life had forced her to set them aside. I promised myself that wouldn't happen to me. I swore that one day I would make it, that one day I would stand on a stage like this and let the world hear my voice. But at 19 years old, I found out I was pregnant, and suddenly everything changed. I became a mother at 19. It wasn't planned. It wasn't part of my fairy tale. And at first, I was terrified. I was just a kid myself, still trying to figure out who I was. How was I supposed to raise another human being when I felt so lost? The father of my child left before my son was even born. He told me he wasn't ready, that this wasn't what he wanted, and just like that, I was alone. Alone with a tiny life growing inside of me, with no idea how I was going to take care of him. There were nights I lay awake wondering how I would afford diapers, how I would pay rent, how I would keep the lights on. I didn't have the luxury of thinking about my dreams anymore. The only thing that mattered was making sure my baby was safe, that he had everything he needed. So I did what I had to do. I worked. I worked hard. I took whatever jobs I could find, waitressing during the day, cleaning offices at night, sometimes both in the same 24 hours. I worked until my feet ached, until my body was so exhausted I could barely keep my eyes open. But quitting was never an option. My son needed me. People think being a single mother is just about being both mom and dad. But it's more than that. It's being the provider, the protector, the comforter, the teacher, and sometimes the only friend your child has. It's carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders while trying to make sure your child never feels how heavy it really is. I loved music. I loved singing. It was the one thing that made me feel alive, the one thing that felt like mine. But when you're a single mother, dreams don't feel like a priority. Every penny I earned went to food, rent, school supplies. Every moment I had was spent working or taking care of my son. There was no time for music, no time for me. I would sing, but only in the quiet moments. Late at night, after my son had finally fallen asleep, I would sit on the floor of our tiny apartment and hum softly to myself. I would whisper songs under my breath while cooking dinner, pretending, just for a second, that I was on a stage. But those moments never lasted. Reality always pulled me back. And after a while, I started to believe that my dreams were just that, dreams, something I had to let go of. I started to tell myself that music belonged to my past, that my future was about being a mother, about surviving, not about singing. And I convinced myself that was enough, because it had to be.
Concrete mattress cold tonight, dreaming of some borrowed light, cradling a babe in tears, heart weighed down by all these fears. Sidewalks echo silent cries, cities glow, can't dry my eyes, whisper prayers into the wind, hope they'll find a place to land. Lonely streets beneath the moon, life's a harsh and bitter tune, clinging tight to memories of a home that used to be.
So that night, I made a promise to myself. I would try, not just for me, but for him, to show him that no matter how hard life gets, you never stop chasing your dreams. I started small, singing again, even if it was just in the car or while doing dishes. I started recording myself, posting small videos online. I sang at local events, open mic nights, anywhere I could, and I was terrified. I hadn't sung in years. I wasn't sure if anyone would even listen. But something incredible happened. People did. They stopped. They listened. They felt something. And little by little, I started to believe in myself again. And now, I am here, standing on this stage, not just as a mother, but as a woman who finally decided to believe in herself again. A message to other single moms. I know I'm not the only one. There are millions of single mothers out there, struggling, surviving, sacrificing. To every single mother who has ever felt invisible, you are not just a mother. You are a person. You are a woman with dreams, with passion, with a voice that deserves to be heard. I know what it's like to feel like you've lost yourself. I know what it's like to put yourself last every single day. But I also know this. Your dreams matter. You matter. And if no one has told you this before, let me be the first. You are doing enough. You are strong enough. You are enough. Conclusion before performance. My son is watching me tonight, and I want him to see that his mother never gave up, that she fought for herself the way she fought for him, that she stood on a stage not just as his mother, but as someone who refused to let life take her dreams away. This performance is for every mother who has ever felt invisible, every mother who has ever wondered if she was enough. You are. You always have been. And this is just the beginning.